All right, guys, we're doing it live. Welcome to SampleServe's Masterclass Wednesdays. I'm Joshua Paul, Marketing Director for SampleServe. Today I have with us, I got Paul Goodrow of Enterman Partners and Russell Schindler, CEO of SampleServe. Both of them have about 7 years combined in the environmental industry. It's about as long as a lake trout can live, if you didn't know that. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to pass it over to Paul Goodrow here, and he's going to do a little introduction. First and foremost, though, I want to get this on the plate. Put a comment if you have any questions or anything. Throw it in the chat, and we'll get to it during or after. And even when this is over, you can put a comment, and we'll get to it as well. And make sure you give this link a share to somebody you think this would be helpful to. So, Paul, take it away.
All right. Thanks, Josh Paul. Yeah, guys, this is every Wednesday, as Josh said, and really what we want to do is help you be more effective in your role. We know the digital transformation is occurring in the industry. We want to be part of that, and we can only do it with your help. And so these tips and ideas that we want to share with you every Wednesday is really about letting you take our tool and become more effective. And if you're more effective, we're hoping that you'll build that into a long-term successful career with whatever company you're with. And SampleServe is one of the solutions out there in the market. We like SampleServe solution, obviously, because we're part of it. But this is for you. So if you have any questions, as Josh said, please post them. This will be recorded and available to you. Share it with friends if you like, colleagues. And always, if you have a question about how to use our solution, give us a call. Any one of us, an email, a call, we'll get back to you immediately. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Josh, and let's get going.
Cool. All right. Russell, I think we want to have a little conversation. You mentioned a good story about banking apps. Did you we want to talk about laboratories and how the connection between? Go ahead.
I've had conversations with people in the internet connection is weak.
Let her catch up.
Say that again. Sorry, my internet connection.
You're good now.
Yeah. So anyway, my banking apps have kind of evolved along a path where they were first developed. There's only a few banks that had them, and now if you're going to be a bank, you're not going to survive unless you have your own mobile app. And so I see that as kind of the same development path along with laboratories and with people doing environmental sampling. Like, it's going to be required in order for anyone to do any work with you. So we just been talking about, the development of technology and the advancement of technology and kind of the logical path that it's going to be taken in the future. So,
yeah, the whole fintech industry, right? So check writing. When I lived in Minneapolis, my office was right next to Deluxe check printers, right? That was their business. They made checks, right? What a transformation they had to take on, because now you can do everything electronically, right?
Yeah.
I was returning something down at the local store today, and a guy in front of me in the return, the lady said, "Well, your check hasn't cleared yet," because he was returning an item, right? And he paid with a check. I went, "A check? What is that? Who uses check anymore?" So it's happening all over, right? It's going to happen to this industry as it has with other industries. And we want to be sure we bring a solution that's fit for purpose and available for our users. So it's cool.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah. Let's get to our first tips and tricks with Russell here. And we're going to talk about Workspace Organization, naming practices, who to add, when to create a new workspace, things like that. So I'm going to give a screen over to Russell here, and he's going to give you some demonstrations. All right, it's on you, Russ.
Okay. Apologize for my internet connection if it's a problem. So the way I look at workspaces and projects are like you would look at a file cabinet. A workspace is like the entire file cabinet, or maybe just a drawer in that cabinet. And then a project would be the file inside the cabinet, right, for that particular project. So you can create as many workspaces as you want. Some of our customers are creating workspaces, if there'll be like a consulting engineering company with offices in different cities, they'll create the Seattle office and the Fairbanks, Alaska office. But then within that office, they'll create a oil company ABC and manufacturing company XYZ workspaces. So you can subdivide, create all these different workspaces, and then you can invite people using our invite process here to individual workspaces, or you can invite them, go into a project and just invite them to that one project, kind of using the same method. So it's a whole filing system and be able to way to store data. You can invite people to entire workspaces in one, couple of clicks, or if you only wanted to look at one project, you just invite them to that one project. So that's
So a lot of our customers are organizing the workspace by geography and then by client. So let's say, this client in this state or this client in this part of the state. And that way you keep everything separated.
Yep.
Well, the thing about clients, they expect consistency across their portfolio, right? So, they want people to do similar methods and similar forms and similar data for all their projects. So client portfolios at the project level, the workspace level are good to have. So,
yeah. Okay, on to the next one. We're going to give you a quick example of using the Field app to take pictures in the field. So let me go over to the Field app here, and I'm going to back out real quick. I'm just going to show you right now. I'm in this event scheduled August 24th for tomorrow, and here's the list of sampling locations right here. So I'm going to go into one of these locations here, and this has been sampled previously. These are demonstration pictures here.
So Josh, the Field app, you're basically on the tablet, right?
Yeah, this is just
tablet.
Yeah, this is just a PC version of the tablet right here that I'm on. Sorry. And I'm going to click on one of these pictures, and you can add a photo anytime by clicking this button, and your camera will pop up, and you can take a picture of anything that you think is relevant to this sampling location, and it'll be saved. Now, if you pull up one of these pictures by clicking on it, it'll show you an enlargement of it. So this will help you find the location or give you any kind of information. Maybe if something's damaged on the well, you can take a picture of that as well. And then a good practice for taking these pictures is you want to take them at 90-degree angles, so that, let's say, if you hear the snow probably the day before was completely covering this well site, that way you know what's behind it and you can locate this well a lot easier. And here are some other demonstrations. Now, you don't necessarily need the writing board here, because that's all the information is covered in the app as well. But it's always good practice to add more information. Anything to add on that, Russell?
Yeah, when you take them at 90 degrees to one another, basically if there's snow on the ground, not everyone has snow, but up here where we're at, we have snow about 6 months of the year. You just draw a line in the snow by lining things up in the background where the well's at. Then you draw another line on the other photo at 90 degrees, and where those two lines intersect, that's where the well's at. It's better than a metal detector. It's better than GPS, and it's super fast. And, if you're having to clear out a bunch of snow to find a well, the closer you can get, the better, obviously. And it just saves time.
Yeah.
Now, Russell, you can take as many photos as you like, right?
Yeah. There's no limit on the number of photos. So, some projects have, you take a photo every time, and that way you can also document any changes or the, degradation over time. It doesn't necessarily have to be snow. It could be, flooding or something like that. You might want to be able to, find a well and determine whether or not it's been flooded or not.
And it's the last three pictures that are reported on the field form, right? So when you create your field form, or as the system creates a field form, the last three photos will be part of that field form.
Part of that standard field form, correct?
Yeah, because you don't want to print out 25 pictures.
Right.
Yeah, right.
All right, and that combined with the GPS makes finding locations super simple and easy.
Super simple.
On to the next one, guys. Okay, this one's going to take a little bit more time, but this is a very, very game-changing evolution and dealing with labs, connecting your laboratory to the SampleServe platform. And I want to show you guys how the workflow goes when your laboratory is connected to your project, how their data upload is quick, easy, and simple for you and the laboratory. So we're going to head over to the SampleServe app here. On the project management tool side, I have a project here that has nothing in it. So I just created this demo project, and I'm going to go over to data here. I'm going to show you that in soil and groundwater, I have no lab data uploaded here. And this is how every project is when you create a new one. And I have a connected laboratory here called generic laboratory. Now, let's just say now I'm the lab tech on the lab side, and I'm going to go over to this tab. This is the laboratory's end. I'm in the same exact project on the laboratory's end. And I have a lab file here. I'm going to pull that up, show you what it looks like. Raw data in an Excel format. I'm going to add this to, oh, I got a bunch of them. I'm going to add this to the lab portal. Click, drag and drop. It's going to say unknown sample locations. These samples are not present in the system. So it's going to add all these locations into the system. I'm going to say, looks good. Now this lab file is uploaded to that project. Now let's go back over to the project management tool. So now I'm the project manager. I'm going to go back to data here. I'm going to do a quick refresh. And this lab data is going to show up right here under lab data groundwater. I uploaded it on the lab side under groundwater, but it doesn't matter because it has soil in this as well. It automatically added the soil as well. So I'm going to go down here to site info. All these wells and boring locations were not here before, and now they show up instantaneously. And let's click inside one, and it has all the information in there. It's got GPS. And because these locations have GPS added, I can go in here and I can create a site map right away. So let's create a site map, test map. Now it uses those GPS locations to create a site map. And now these sample locations are automatically uploaded to the site map here. And because I have data already in from the what do you call it?
Laboratory.
Analytical, yeah.
Analytical data. I can go in here, I can select my substances, select the wells, and then boom, it's going to show up big right away because you got to kind of manipulate the map afterwards. But now I have a box map. How long did that take from when the lab uploaded it, guys?
2.5 minutes.
2.5
2.5 minutes, the whole routine. I was going to ask you if someone was proficient with the tool, Josh, how long would it really take?
I'd like to say I'm proficient, Paul.
Okay, good. I was hoping we could get that down to a minute or a minute and a half or something like that.
Yeah, you got to make your map bigger and your boxes smaller. But
yeah, let's make the boxes 10. Make the map.
Yeah, and while you're playing around with that, think about the time just saved, right? So you think about 2.5 minutes, start to finish, analytical being loaded by the lab, using your GPS to create a base map, putting the analytical on top of it. You can put water levels on top of it. You know, think of that versus having to submit it to ArcInfo or your local draft person to create this map. I mean, it just is unbelievably simple.
yeah, yeah.
Pretty
That's
fast.
really the whole point is eliminate those bottlenecks, make it efficient. And, you know, and if you're a project manager and something's going on, you need to make decisions quickly, informed decisions quickly. You know, this is going to help you be able to accomplish that.
Now, if your lab's not connected, they're going to send you that lab file, you know, hopefully in an Excel file, and you can just upload it yourself. So it's going to take about the same amount of time. It's just a lot easier if the lab does it themselves. You don't have to mess with the format. They'll usually, you know, they'll have the same format because they're uploading to this all the time. So everything just comes out a lot cleaner, smoother, but you can always upload the same lab file that they give you.
Now, Russell, was that lab connected in through the workspace to the lab technician, or was that lab connected?
So you would connect them to each project, and if you want to switch, you can switch labs. So when you set up your project, you're going to pick a lab that you think you're going to be using, but if halfway, you know, a year later, you want to switch labs, or even just for one event, you want to split labs, you know, samples or something like that, you can do all that. So.
And you can invite your specific lab PM or lab tech to your workspace, right?
Yep. And there's no charge for labs to be part of this platform. So
No,
there's no reason for them not to participate.
All right, Josh, let's keep going, man.
Pretty powerful tool.
Someone's slowing this down a little bit.
All right. Next up, we're going to talk about partnering with SampleServe. Just have a little conversation about the benefits and how we want to change the industry with getting new partners. So Paul, I'm going to let you start off with this one.
All right. Keep a watch on me. Would you keep me time?
All right.
As Josh said, Russell and I have both been in the industry for many years, and we've seen the evolution of our consulting engineering space, the environmental industry in general, specifically with our partners, the labs, the engineering firms, the digital providers. What we're trying to do is create a solution that's digital, that can be deployed to our customers or your customers through different channels. What we believe is that today, companies should be adopting digital solutions, but not just the solution, but the partner they want to work with, because not all solutions will be ready use. Our solution can be used tomorrow. If you sign up, you log in, you create a workspace, you can use our tool immediately. But you may have internal requirements, or you may have client needs that aren't completely fulfilled by our solution. If they're not, we want to be your partner in developing and co-developing that. And so we believe is that there are people, this industry is represented by communities, regulators, and educators. These influence our industry. They invent new things, they develop guidelines, they've developed criteria. We want to put this tool in their hands as quickly, as seamlessly as possible. If you've heard other webinars, you know that we sponsor and work with the University, Western Michigan University, and their hydro field camp. So they're using our tool directly to do their field camp, not just to collect the samples, but also to teach their students how to use the tool moving forward. We work with regulators, we work with communities, we work these parts of our industry that are going to really advance technology, whether it's SampleServe or something else. Now, when it comes to the business cases, we've developed really 4 business cases that are valuable to, we think, the 4 partners that we're aligning with. So we've talked about laboratories. We just did a quick demo on how laboratories can benefit from the use of our tool. We're looking to, and we have offered, and we're negotiating with laboratories to link in with their LIMS to offer this to their customers. We also obviously work with consulting engineers. You may be one of them out there listening to us today, and they're using it directly to work on projects with their clients directly. We're also working with digital service providers. So there are providers out there that are digital that don't have our functionality. Now, our functionality could enhance their system, make it more robust, and we're working with them to see how we can connect with them. So for instance, there might be a company that's developing geotech, well boring, in-field lab apps and reporting functionality. Well, they aren't really developing the sampling functionality. We can team with them to develop that and make it a better, more robust system for their end users. And the last are equipment and testing companies. You may own some of your equipment, but as you set up a field sampling program, you're going to need equipment, whether it's monitoring equipment or pumping equipment, or even reimbursable things like Tyvek and other things that you need to execute the work. Obviously, if you create your sampling event with SampleServe, all that information that's required can be ordered directly from an equipment manufacturing company. So if you look at SampleServe, what we're trying to do is obviously offer a fit-for-purpose solution that can be used immediately, which you can. And secondly, team with partners to co-develop the solution specifically for their business case. So if you're one of these partners, please let us know. We want to be helpful to you. We want to engage in developing and co-developing the product for you and bring it to your customers. If your customers use it, you win and we win. So that's kind of the summary of where we believe we can position the solution and how we can bring it to market. And there'll be more coming. I know, Josh, you're putting some stuff together on our website on how to become a partner. Please click, join and become one of SampleServe's partners. We'd love to have you, and we can work with your business case and make this solution work for you.
Sounds good. Well said. Russell?
Yeah.
What do you think about partnership?
Well, pardon me?
What do you think about partnerships?
Oh, I'm all for it. We've got several partners right now, and we've got some more partners in the work. And we're looking forward to even more yet. So yeah.
Yeah, what I think in the industry is it's going to be better when everybody gets on the same level, on the same page, especially data formatting and the possibilities of having one spot for everybody to connect and transfer data and communicate effectively. And I think that's what SampleServe's main goal is in the industry,
while still maintaining security and privacy and all that as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
if you look at what any, a lot of digital solutions have a core functionality to it, right? I mean, any solution you look at is not a solve all, but it might have a core functionality. Like some solutions are very good at, producing maps and graphics, etc. Some are very good at being just big databases where you can store a ton of data. Some solutions are good at creating forms in the field, but not doing anything else. And so this solution of SampleServe really integrates that type of functionality. But let's say you want to use it to sample THC, right, Russell? So in states where recreational marijuana is legal, there's a big market out there for sampling, pesticides, herbicides, heavy metals, and THC levels. The core functionality still applies. It just happens to be a different sampling and testing regimen. And so we want to team with you. Now, let's not say for cannabis sampling, but let's say for new types of sampling, carbon sequestration. There's sampling that's occurring now to see how well different types of flora, sequester carbon and how they can be used and developed to take CO2 out. So there's all kinds of media out there. There's all kinds of testing methodology, and our core functionality applies to all that. It's just a matter of helping our customers or our partners co-develop the product fit for purpose. So again, you can use it now, and we're confident for soil, groundwater, surface water, wastewater. If there are other things you want to develop, we want to help you do that.
All right. I think we're going to end it there, Paul. Good.
You're going to end with that?
You want to continue? We're getting past time. I just want to keep in mind we're 23 minutes. So let's cover the rest of our apps real quick too.
Okay. We have 4 apps. We talked about ENV. Sample Log helps a lab take in the samples because the samples are QR coded and they can take them in easy. It's simple. Sample H2O is for drinking water and all digital, primarily lab to consumer, let's say a homeowner or a building inspector. And Sample SWR is for wastewater testing. This is a perfect example where we took our core functionality of what we had in the other 3 products and we deployed it on surface water or stormwater, wastewater, and it's working great for them. So again, if you're interested in any of these, how can they get a hold of us, Josh?
Go to the website. You'll see right at the second section. Click on get a demo, or with the Sample ENV, you can also just start an account right now and start going.
All right.
So, what do you think? All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. Make sure you give a share to somebody you think this would be helpful to. And always comment. We always get to the comments afterwards. And look out for our next Masterclass Wednesdays next Wednesday. And we'll always be covering, helpful tips and tricks and case studies and sharing with anybody that's interested. So thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks.
See you next Wednesday.